Hey, Thunder fans, welcome to another episode of Off the Tracks. It's our 14th episode here from the Fire and Pub. Actually, only 3 or 4 episodes here at the Firehouse, but we'd definitely love to have you out at some of our future episodes. We've only got a couple weeks left here in the USHL season, and we have a couple more episodes here. Start time is at 6 o'clock right here from the Firehouse Pizza and Pub every Monday. We'd love to have you out to join us for the Off the Track show. We got another great show for you here as Bloomington gets ready for another weekend, another tough one coming up as they take on the U18s, and then on Saturday they will take on the Muskegon Lumberjacks, and then follow it up right again with the U17s. We'll have Cameron Spicer along with Steven Merl on the mic. But first, we got a chance to talk to this guy to my right. It is assistant coach Harry Mahood here on the Off the Track show. Honey, I appreciate you taking the time coming on the show here.
Thanks, Brian.
Good to have you on the mic and kind of talk about a little bit of the different aspects of the coaching staff that we've talked to Coach Williams about. We've talked to Coach Jewell about this season, and it all comes down to different perspectives on how everything goes throughout the season. And you're a guy who's been around junior hockey for quite some time, and just coming into the season in second or third year with Coach Williams at the helm, and just working with him this year. How's everything been going for you on the season? What's your outlook been so far through 50 games so far in the USHL season?
Well, to be honest, certainly the thing that's different is playing in the league in the USHL. But in terms of our working relationship, every day kind of feels the same. And I learned right when we started working together, it was quite an experience and an honor to work with Coach. And but I also recognized that I had to be aware of the trampoline effect. And when he gets going and he's jumping up and down on the trampoline, I don't get on the trampoline with him. And obviously that just doubles the power of the trampoline. And so we seem to have worked all of that out, and certainly have a great relationship and a lot of energy and a lot of brain power. And with any organization, we have the depth in coaching and we have the depth in scouting, and without it, it's difficult to compete in this league.
It's a nice give and take too, with all the coaches just working together, trying to build the best hockey team you can. And I know coming from the North American League, Coach Williams has talked about the jump on the ice, just in the differences between, the style of play, the different caliber of players that are in this league. What's the look been for you, and what's the biggest difference?
Well, it's interesting because I'm, a guy that enjoys the development process. And in the North American League, to me, it always seemed like you had guys that were like the second wave of development. And certainly the guys that you see in the USHL are the blue chip guys, the first wave of guys. And so, it's fun to work with those guys that are they're physically more mature, and their hockey sense is, above the pack and that type of thing. And but it also has some different challenges, and one of them is the age of the players. Typically in the North American League, the players are for the most part 19 or 20 years old. No limit on 20-year-olds there, and you don't see many young guys like we have, Van Bar, Almer, and Tark, and Jalen Smerrick. You don't see many of those guys in the North American Hockey League. So you're not dealing a lot with high school players and high school issues and high school mindsets. And, the locker room music is quite a bit different. They're allowed to listen to all the young pop stars and things. So there's a definite difference in those athletes. But certainly I think the focus for all of them is they want to be collegiate and pro players.
And that makes it tough too to work with guys, because obviously the age difference in just a couple areas, it gets a little bit different for guys to guys. But the one big thing is working with guys on high school schedules. And I know earlier this season kind of took its toll at the early going, but then the guys made the shift to high school. How do you approach that aspect of it, where guys are taking college classes for the most part with trying to better their academics, but some of the younger guys really trying to stay up to date with all the high school academics?
Well, I think the interesting part about our staff is we're all college graduates, and so when guys come in and say, gee, I don't know if I can work out, play hockey, go to school, have a job, and we all look at them like, you're talking to the wrong guys. Like,
yeah.
We're people that have done that. You can do it, but again, it gets back to that word discipline. And, I think it's really important. I know we encourage our guys as much as possible that even the guys that are post high school, you need to be involved either working or in a community college class, because to me, having a balanced, mind and schedule allows you to have the most success. So these guys do a pretty good job with that, themselves. But it does take a tremendous discipline and energy every day for those guys to manage themselves through each week.
We're talking with assistant coach Harry Mahood here on the Off the Tracks Coaches Show from Firehouse Pizza and Pub. You can come on out every Monday, 6 o'clock start. You can also catch it on BloomingtonThunder.tv. Also catch the re-air on at 7:30 on Cities 92.9. We'd love to have you out. You can win some prizes, especially some tickets to upcoming games. And we've only got four more games here coming up at home for this Bloomington Thunder team, and a lot of road games still left to finish out the season. 10 more games left in the season. And on the outside looking in right now, as far as the playoff standings are concerned, Coach, and I think as you're going about the season, there's some places where you could look back and say, all right, well, we could have gotten points here. Are there any chances that you look back at those and try and, improve on them as the season go, but then once the season's over, you look next year and think, okay, we got to improve on these little areas into next season as well?
Yeah, it's a good question. And I think what we learned right there in November was that if your team starts on a bit of a downtrend, it's very, very important to get very animated and get that turned around right away. And I think for our young team and a young group we had there, that caught up to us in November. And it took a lot of work and, a lot of discipline by the players to turn it around. And it was interesting. We went through that tough stretch in November, but, we finished December, 8-2-1 or something like that. And we came back from the holiday. Probably holiday break was a bit too long. We can't really control that, the schedule. And again, we were fighting for our lives there initially at the start of January. But, less those two, kind of 2-week periods of time, this team has excelled and it's played at a very high level. And so I think the objective is to sell everybody on, focusing, of course, a little bit stronger. And if we do hit those speed bumps, well, we got to take them serious. And I think that was something with a young group, you need a strong culture and you need a strong leadership group. And obviously we're growing it this year. And I would expect us, to be able to grow forward. I look at some of the players that we'll have returning next year, like Jake Slaker or Jalen Smerrick and Tarek Baker. These are tremendous players and kids, but they're also great leaders and they really catalyze the group. So I expect those guys to really be able to handle that a lot better next year.
Now, again, you're a guy who's been around the junior hockey game, seen different organizations. This is the first year for the Bloomington Thunder, and obviously the future is bright, like you mentioned, with some of those guys coming back and being the core foundation of this team for the next year or two and really moving forward. How does this team really compare to some of the teams that you've seen in the past in junior hockey and what the outlook is for this team in the future?
Yeah, I think, as this team was born, it came on very quickly. And, we were in the playoffs last year in Amarillo going, holy smokes, we got to put a USHL team on the ice here in 4 or 5 months. How do you do that? And, you're given parameters when you come into the game, of course, and they weren't as favorable as the Dubuque Saints had there when they came in a few years ago. So, we had a formula that we had to work with, and that's something that it really took a lot of. I give Coach Williams a lot of credit for his GM hat because he really, really had to look at all different areas to be able to put a team on the ice that could compete in the USHL. And to be honest, we were holding our breath earlier in the year because you've certainly seen teams in this league, have some tough seasons, 10, 12 wins, and it's a long year. But the one thing that's really fun is it's always like a bit of a chess match, and you're building your team much like they do in the National Hockey League, where you're building through a young players draft and then a second phase of draft, and you're massaging your roster based on league moves and that type of thing. So it's very, very interesting, and it's not an easy science, as every professional sports team could attest to. So therein lies the challenge. But I think we recognize the type of players you need and the type of culture you need and the type of energy you need every day. And I think the teams, when I've worked with Coach Williams last few years, it's a simple formula, but I think the thing that's there every day is the accountability. So I think more than anything, the group that we have going forward and the group that we bring in, I know Dan and Jules doing a great job identifying players and, not just their hockey skills and sense, but the type of people they are and the type of players that can play within this program. So, I'd anticipate a very sharp upswing next year.
We've talked about the process and how important that is all season long, and obviously logging the miles on the car for Coach Jewell and every piece that goes into the puzzle about building a hockey team. You have to look at so many different aspects coming into not only a new season, but an expansion year. And like you mentioned, obviously tough. Only 2 teams won the Clark Cup in their expansion year back, Lincoln in the mid-90s, and then Dubuque coming back into the league just a couple years ago. But obviously going towards the playoff push with both Madison right in there, along with Chicago working away against Muskegon and Dubuque. It's a tough road towards the end of the year. But what's the biggest thing that you guys have to focus on yourselves just to make that final push and see if you can make it into that final spot?
Well, I think it doesn't change too much. I mean, you really can't focus on a lot of things out of your control, and that being how other teams perform, because it certainly has a significant impact on the standings. Also, the schedule. For example, Madison, I'm not exactly sure how many times they've played Green Bay, but it's 12 or 14. And Green Bay's had a tough go of it this year for one reason or another. So you're looking at how teams gain points and what the schedule looks like, and things are, as they teach you, it's life's not fair. But so we're living for today, but certainly planning for tomorrow. And these players that, as we have some young affiliate players in, and this is valuable experience for Mitchell Matson and. We had Bailey Conger, and we have Tanner Tweeten coming in, and Vlad Jashively coming in. And, these guys will get an opportunity to dip their toe in the water, help them get a little better picture of what they're going to be faced with, and give them some direction in their summer training, and us an opportunity to give them some direction as well. So not only are we continually working to push toward a strong finish, but there's a great responsibility to do these players right every day, because if you were sitting here with Mr. Ewell and Mr. Jelena, the team owners, I would tell you that their conversations are always about servicing the athletes and creating opportunities for these guys to grow and get better. And I think that's our focus. I think we all want to win, but we never look too much further than what's in the best interest of the kids.
Bright future not only on the ice but also off the ice for the Bloomington Thunder in the next couple of years. We're finishing up here with assistant coach Harry Mahood here for your Bloomington Thunder on the Off the Tracks Coaches Show. But let's kind of talk about just the differences between the game from when you played in junior hockey and from when Coach Williams played in junior hockey. The game has obviously taken a little bit of a different turn, and it's moved a little bit, and it's a lot of high skilled players, especially with some of the fighting aspects being dwindled down from where junior hockey used to be and even professional hockey used to be. How much has the game changed here as of late in the last 10 years or so?
Yeah, I hear people make loose comments that, hockey's a simple game. And I kind of chuckle at that because nothing could be further from the truth today. You hear commentators say, we keep it simple, etc. But the amount that goes in these athletes' development and the temperance of these athletes today, I mean, it's remarkable. These guys are 12 months a year. They have sports psychology coaches. They work with nutritionists. They have an off-ice trainer. They're on the ice 11 and a half months a year. They're totally focused and committed. They have advisors and agents, and they're doing specialty camps and clinics, and they're really sourcing out every legitimate development skill that one could put in their repertoire, and they're on it. So to me, that's the greatest difference. To me, this was a game September to March when I played, and there was not a great sophistication to it, but in terms of how the game is played and all those things, I think that what's changed the most obviously is the rules. And the rules used to be where everything was back alley hockey, and I think when they changed the rules, though, they didn't realize that defensively there's a lot of things going on, but offensively, guys were doing the same thing, grabbing guys, twisting guys, all that stuff to create advantages. So to me, that was just a simple trade-off, because there used to be a lot of great offensive plays made by using illegal, clutching and grab tactics. So, I think that's changed. I was saying to the guys in the locker room the other day, I told them, I said, I think it's time, just let's get fighting out of the game. I mean, we just can't, have this conversation too much longer, I think. And what's bothering me today, more than anything, and I think it needs to be a stronger argument and a stronger case against, this continuing to have fighting in the game, is when you look at these tragedies we've suffered. And I've known some of these athletes in hockey, and I've played with some of the toughest guys and whatnot. And when you see these athletes develop early signs of and onsets of dementia and Alzheimer's, and they're battling depression, and ultimately they're on all sorts of prescription drugs and alcohol and a mixture of things, and tragically some of them have died. And to me, that's where the conversation needs to start happening now in terms of fighting. Because I think when people say, no, we need to keep fighting in hockey, I think, say everything you just said, but before you say it, say, somebody's going to take their life because they're getting punched in the head and suffering, quite a few concussions and all the things that go with that we should keep, fighting in the game. So to me, that conversation has changed. As also, as always a person that, like a lot of people that believe it's about respect, but I think what's happening, what we're seeing, is these guys are too big, they're too strong, and those types of things in the game are changing. And I recognize the importance of fan entertainment, etc., but to me, at the risk of human life, seems senseless at this point.
Always easy to say that it should be in the game when you're watching it, but always tough when you see the after effects.
Well,
of it, right?
it's the biggest fallacy. Everyone says, well, nobody gets hurt in a hockey fight.
Right.
It's nothing could be further from the truth. So, I hope that we take those steps. Personally, I haven't always been that way, that advocate, but to see these things in the last 3 or 4 years, it worries me about our young people and where all of this goes.
Well, Hoodie, I appreciate the time here. Best of luck going through the rest of the season. Best of luck this weekend against the U18s.
Thanks, Brian.
That's assistant coach Harry Mahood. We'll be right back right after this. We're going to take a quick timeout, and then we will get Steven Merl on the mic here on the Off the Tracks Coaches Show from Firehouse Pizza and Pub. Don't go anywhere.
The Bloomington Thunder have burst onto the USHL scene at the US Cellular Coliseum. Ticket plans for the Thunder season can be purchased through the Thunder office, so call 309-434-2980 to get your tickets today. Bloomington Thunder Hockey will sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Wow, look at all our signage in here.
I did that.
You design signs?
Fast Signs does. I send them ideas and logos through fastsigns.com, and they deliver innovative sign solutions.
But that must take all season.
Not at all. Fast Signs create signs on almost any surface, any size and quantity, in no time at all.
They're almost as talented as me.
You should take a time out.
Country Financial rep Richard Pittman has been to every home game since 1981, which is why on game night, you won't find him in the office. You'll find him cheering on his favorite team.
Section 223.
After all these years, he's gotten to know his neighbors in the stands pretty well. He's even helped some of them with their policies.
Let's see. Oh, there's Jim and Colleen in row M, Bill and Linda in row P, and Pete and his sons Brandon and Kirk in row K.
You get the idea. Richard loves hockey, and he loves helping his community. It's why Country Financial offers everything from auto, home, and life insurance to business, retirement, and college savings, too. So now everyone in Section 223 can relax and think about the things that really matter.
Like our third line defense.
For more information on making a game plan of your own, visit countryfinancial.com or call 1-866-COUNTRY. Country Financial. Grow your own way.
Grow your own way.
Starplex Cinemas in Normal, Illinois features state-of-the-art sound and 100% digital projection. Relax and enjoy our spacious rocker seating along with our great low ticket prices. All shows before $6. Offers $1 hot dogs and a free loyalty program where you receive 1 point for every dollar spent at concessions and the box office. Redeem your points for free popcorn, drinks, and even movie tickets. For tickets and showtimes, visit starplexcinemas.com.
From the moment you walk through our doors to the moment you take your new vehicle home, we'll take care of you every step of the way. At Jaguar Land Rover Peoria, we don't just welcome you to our dealership, we welcome you to our family. We have the largest selection of new Jaguar and Land Rover vehicles in Central Illinois, as well as a fine selection of quality pre-owned vehicles to fit any budget. No matter how much you spend on a vehicle, at Jaguar Land Rover Peoria, you'll get world-class service every time you walk through our doors. Visit us today at jaguarlandroverpeoria.com.
At Accelerated Rehabilitation Centers, our patients' first philosophy is no empty promise. A dedicated team of physical and occupational therapists. We're here whenever you need us. With over 170 locations, we offer morning and evening appointments. Just call 877-97-REHAB. That's 877-977-3422. Or visit acceleratedrehab.com. Accelerated Rehabilitation Centers, putting patients first.
On the go, carry your branch with you, securely accessing your money anytime, anywhere. Download the Busey mobile app to deposit checks, view recent transactions, find a branch or ATM, transfer funds, and even pay bills, all on your schedule. Visit Busey.com or your app store today for Busey's innovative banking solutions. Busey, your dream, our promise. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Come on down to the Great Harvest Bread Company and try our specialty breads made in-house daily. We make our bread fresh every day using ingredients from all local Bloomington businesses. Check out our website, greatharvestblm.com, for a list of our daily specials, including sweets, soups, and jams. We also have Goodbye Gluten Tuesdays and No Nut Fudgies. K5 at 1704 Eastland Drive in Bloomington, open 7 to 6 Tuesday through Friday and 7 to 5 on Saturdays, or give us a call at 662-8500 and try us today.
There are many reasons to change cars.
I want a lower payment. Now,
I need better mileage. We're ready for more room. Frankly, I just hate my old car.
What's right for one person might not be right for you. SEFQ helps you get the car you want and a loan payment that fits your budget with low rates and no hidden fees. Call Phone a Loan and get a pre-approved loan in minutes. SEFQ, not a bank. Better.
Hey, Thunder fans, welcome back inside the Off the Tracks Coaches Show. It is from Firehouse Pizza and Pub, and we have our second segment here coming at you again from the Firehouse Pizza and Pub. It's Steven Merl. Did I get it right here? I'm having trouble here. It's tough on me. I got to make sure it's one syllable. Steven Merl, newest forward for your Bloomington Thunder, came in from a trade from the Muskegon Lumberjacks. And Steven, just appreciate the time first off for coming on the show. And it's been nice seeing you playing and getting suited up with the Bloomington Thunder over the last couple of games. I guess the first question is what's been the biggest change here from Muskegon and coming over to Bloomington?
I'd have to say it's probably the town in general. I mean, Muskegon was a pretty small town, so moving to Bloomington, there's a lot more people, bigger rink, more stuff to do around here. So it's been a nice transition.
And just moving from one place to another, not only do you change a couple things as far as the town, but you're also changing a team, just coming into a new locker room and obviously being a part of a new place and a friendly face in the locker room for you as well. And Jake Slaker, teammates from last season. How's it been just being immersed into this new locker room for the Bloomington Thunder?
Oh, it's been great. The guys have been good with me. Right when I came in the locker room, obviously Slaker had good things to say to the guys before I got there. So it was an easy transition there for sure.
Now, was there any lobbying done here towards, if obviously when you're looking to bring in new guys and younger guys at the same time, there's sometimes coaches will be like, hey, do you know anything about this guy? And obviously having a guy who was roommates with you last year, just getting to know you and everything, was there any lobbying done to maybe either get into the same billet house or anything like that once you got here?
Yeah, we gave it a shot, but they had me move into Soroki's billets, the kid who I was traded for. So we'll see what happens next year though with that.
You never know.
Yeah.
It's always looking up here towards the next season. And obviously coming into Bloomington, it's been a nice adjustment for you, and picked up the first goal this past weekend in the game against Madison. And always nice to kind of get the monkey off your back. But you did have some points throughout the season. In your first USHL year, how's the adjustment been? And what's the changes coming in from a different league and just being a part of the USHL?
Yeah, it's definitely a huge adjustment. I mean, playing AAA hockey last year was a lot more offensive league, and this year just playing with bigger, faster, stronger guys. It's a lot harder to score goals, but definitely felt good to score one last weekend.
Well, you're a bigger guy on this team as far as the height and weight goes, and just using the body to your advantage. Just because most fans don't know your style of game, they haven't seen you a whole lot. What is your approach to hockey games? More of a grinder, power forward. What's your game?
I would probably say that I'm definitely a power forward. I'm a pretty big guy, so I like to throw the body around a little bit, but I'm a pretty decent skater, so definitely have some scoring ability there. So definitely with some more experience next season, I think that'll show a bit more too.
One season under the belt always helps. We're talking with Steven Merl here on the Off the Tracks coaches here from Firehouse Pizza and Pub in downtown Normal. Definitely come on out to the show. We have it every Monday at 6 o'clock, and we also do a live stream if you're watching right now on BloomingtonThunder.tv. You can catch the re-air 7:30 on Cities 92.9. Definitely check it out. Always a good show here. And talk progression for you and moving away from home, and it's one thing that we like to talk to guys about in different changes. You were a guy from Florida originally, and spent last year up in Chicago. But I don't know how long was that change, and when did you make the move up to Chicago?
I actually was in Detroit the last 2 seasons, but started off in Florida. Played roller hockey actually till I was 11 years old. I never was on the ice till I was 11, and actually, I found out there was no pro roller hockey league, so figured I might as well try to move over to ice, and made the transition. And in 8th grade, I moved to Cleveland and played with the Cleveland Barons AAA program there for 3 seasons, and had a great time, met a lot of great people. Then moved to Detroit, played with Detroit Bell Tire the past 2 seasons, and now I'm here.
Now, Florida and Southern California, hockey's been booming in the last couple of years, but at the same time, as you're growing up, how much of an off-key sport was it for you to be playing hockey when you were talking to some of your friends?
Yeah, it was. I definitely got some weird looks when I was in school, but I don't know. It was definitely a small community of hockey players down in Florida, but the guys who played it were great guys, and still friends with them to this day. So
hockey's a small world, and not to
really
mention being in a different place like that. But then you gotta, at an early age, more so than most guys, you make the move to Cleveland as well, and not only the adjustment from making the move up to Cleveland, but also just playing for a new organization. You're in a new place. It's got to be a bit of a culture shock for a young kid, right?
Yeah, especially the weather.
Yeah, just being in the cold right by the lake and making the move to Detroit. I guess obviously the hockey is a little different there and going through the leagues, but how are you also approaching that as a young kid, thinking, all right, well, how am I going to make my way and turn this into an ice hockey career?
Well, back in 8th grade, I probably wasn't thinking too much about a career. I was more just thinking of having fun. So, but it was definitely a big transition, leaving all your friends from school at a younger age. I was kind of oddly ready to get out of Florida. My coach told me that if I wanted to take hockey more seriously, I had to move up north. So I just kind of asked my parents, and they were totally for it, and I'm happy I did it, definitely.
Well, there you go. You make the move, and now you're here in Bloomington, and obviously looking for the college commitment. That's one of the things that comes along with being part of the USHL game, and for you looking for a specific school. What's the go-to factor that you've experienced so far that has kind of led you to looking at schools and what you're looking for to make that final commitment?
Yeah, I think when you're choosing a school, you really have to be there, be at the campus, see the rink, and just I feel like you'll know when you're at the school that's right for you. But I mean, I don't think there's one thing that you can pick out about a school that is like, that's why I want to go there. I think you really have to just experience it for a day and really look around.
No, obviously no need to name names because it's against kind of regulations of saying, well, okay, well, I'm talking to this school or anything. But have you found one of those schools that has kind of flashed your interest and thought, all right, well, maybe I could spend 4 years here?
Yeah, a little bit. I've talked to a few schools, and I've been out to a few schools and I really liked some of them, but you know, it just takes some time.
So Steven Merl here on the Off the Tracks Coaches Show from Firehouse Pizza and Pub in downtown Normal, Illinois. If you're here at the location, definitely head on down to the front table. We got a chance for you to win some tickets, win some prizes. You can also get some of the posters and rally towels we have here at the building. We'd love to have you out at some of the upcoming games, and we've got some tough ones here coming up, Steven. With the Team USA coming in, and I don't know how much you were able to take them on in Muskegon. They seemed like early in the season it was back and forth with Team USA with the 17s, the 18s. Season was way back in November, I believe. So what is the biggest thing to look out for from this U18 team, because they have some of the best prospects in the country?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing to look out for with USA is just the little plays they make in the offensive zone. It's pretty incredible actually how skilled these guys really are. So I think you just have to make sure that you're defensive and sticking with your guy in the D zone, because they make some pretty fancy plays out there.
And that's one of those things. Obviously, you know, everybody in this league is a very, very skilled player, but sometimes when you say 18s, to fans, they may not understand exactly what the 18s are, and it is the top draft picks prospects in the country. And as far as that's concerned, no slouches on this Bloomington Thunder roster as well, getting ready for college and working through the development. But it's always tough to match up with any team in the USHL, but not to mention going against guys who have that NHL caliber talent. Yeah, how is it one-on-one facing with some of these guys?
I actually think it's pretty fun to play against these guys, to match your see what these guys, you said, I mean, top 1, 2, 3 round draft picks in the NHL, and they're all committed to the top schools in the country. So it's kind of fun to go out there and compete against them, just to kind of know you can.
So tell me about the first goal here in Bloomington. You got it on home ice, which is always nice to have all the fans in attendance, and I think 2,700 strong at the US Cellular Coliseum in the game. What was the environment like, just be able to pot that goal? And I think it was eventually, was it the second goal of the game? It was a pretty big goal going later in the game as well.
Yeah, I think so. It was just kind of dumped the puck in for Chaitard, and Slattery made a pass up to Smerik at the point, and he was about to shoot, but saw me backdoor and made a really good pass there, and I just caught and shot, and kind of lucky went in 5-hole, but
nice little look. Did you tap the stick or anything, or just a nice little look up from Jalen?
I just looked at him. We made a little eye contact, and he made a good pass.
Hey, a little telepathy, right? That's always what you need here in hockey, and especially early in the season. Good to see, and we're looking forward to having you back here next year and ready to go for the next season. But still 10 games to go. Yeah. Definitely best of luck in those, and I really appreciate you coming on the show here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That's Steven Merl. We'll be right back. We're going to take another timeout, and then when we come back, we'll have Cameron Spicer, another new Thunder player on the roster here in the second half of the season. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right here on the Firehouse Pizza and Pub Off the Tracks Coaches Show.
The Bloomington Thunder have burst onto the USHL scene at the US Cellular Coliseum. Ticket plans for the Thunder season can be purchased through the Thunder office, so call 309-434-2980 to get your tickets today. Bloomington Thunder Hockey will sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Wow, look at all our signage in here.
I did that.
You design signs?
Fast Signs does. I send them ideas and logos through fastsigns.com, and they deliver innovative sign solutions.
But that must take all season.
Not at all. Fast Signs create signs on almost any surface, any size and quantity, in no time at all.
They're almost as talented as me.
You should take a time out.
Country Financial rep Richard Pittman has been to every home game since 1981, which is why on game night, you won't find him in the office. You'll find him cheering on his favorite team.
Section 223.
After all these years, he's gotten to know his neighbors in the stands pretty well. He's even helped some of them with their policies.
Let's see. Oh, there's Jim and Colleen in row M, Bill and Linda in row P, and Pete and his sons, Brandon and Kurt, in row K.
You get the idea. Richard loves hockey, and he loves helping his community. It's why Country Financial offers everything from auto, home, and life insurance to business, retirement, and college savings, too. So now everyone in Section 223 can relax and think about the things that really matter.
Like our third-line defense.
For more information on making a game plan of your own, visit countryfinancial.com or call 1-866-COUNTRY. Country Financial. Grow your own way.
Grow your own way.
Starplex Cinemas in Normal, Illinois features state-of-the-art sound and 100% digital projection. Relax and enjoy our spacious rocker seating along with our great low ticket prices. All shows before 6 p.m. are $6 and kids, seniors, and students pay $6 all day long. Starplex also offers $1 hot dogs and a free loyalty program where you receive 1 point for every dollar spent at concessions and the box office. Redeem your points for free popcorn, drinks, and even movie tickets. For tickets and showtimes, visit starplexcinemas.com.
From the moment you walk through our doors to the moment you take your new vehicle home, we'll take care of you every step of the way. At Jaguar Land Rover Peoria, we don't just welcome you to our dealership, we welcome you to our family. We have the largest selection of new Jaguar and Land Rover vehicles in Central Illinois, as well as a fine selection of quality pre-owned vehicles to fit any budget. No matter how much you spend on a vehicle, at Jaguar Land Rover Peoria, you'll get world-class service every time you walk through our doors. Visit us today at jaguarlandroverpeoria.com.
At Accelerated Rehabilitation Centers, our patients' first philosophy is no empty promise. A dedicated team of physical and occupational therapists. We're here whenever you need us. With over 170 locations, we offer morning and evening appointments. Just call 877-97-REHAB. That's 877-977-3422. Or visit acceleratedrehab.com. Accelerated Rehabilitation Centers, putting patients first.
On the go, carry your branch with you, securely accessing your money anytime, anywhere. Download the Busey mobile app to deposit checks, view recent transactions, find a branch or ATM, transfer funds, and even pay bills, all on your schedule. Visit Busey.com or your app store today for Busey's innovative banking solutions. Busey, your dream, our promise. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Come on down to the Great Harvest Bread Company and try our specialty breads made in-house daily. We make our bread fresh every day using ingredients from all local Bloomington businesses. Check out our website, greatharvestblm.com, for a list of our daily specials, including sweets, soups, and jams. We also have Goodbye Gluten Tuesdays and No Nut Fridays for anyone with allergies. Need something for a special occasion? Let us create a gift box for you. So stop by the Great Harvest Bread Company at 1704 Eastland Drive in Bloomington, open 7 to 6 Tuesday through Friday and 7 to 5 on Saturdays, or give us a call at 662-8500 and try us today.
Hey, Thunder fans, third and final segment here of the Off the Tracks Coaches Show from Firehouse Pizza and Pub in downtown Normal, Illinois. We've got another great segment here for you as Cam Spicer is on the mic here. Appreciate the time that you've taken out here, Cam.
Yeah, of course. It's good to be here.
And obviously another new guy to Bloomington and to this market, and coming over and trade from Tri-City, and just engulfing yourself and everything. And I know we talked to Steven about it, but let's ask you the same question. How's the adjustment been into moving into this new area for you?
Well, it's been a crazy transition. I definitely wasn't expecting it, but so far the coaches is a big difference. Really like the coaches here, and just a bigger town, different environment, different feel coming from the west over to the east. A little bit different style of play from Tri-City, so it's been an interesting transition on the ice. And other than that, it's big move. Everything that you can expect has been different for me, so it's fun.
And you can always talk about that with the NHL, how the East and West game differ. And granted, it's close proximity for the USHL, but there still is some difference between the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference, right?
Yeah, I think there definitely is, and you kind of cater to the teams you play against. Yeah. And when you're not playing against the same teams as the other conference, I think that plays a big role in that. But other than that, I think it's still hockey, and either way, wherever you are, you got to play hard and be part of a team and do well.
So we're here with Cam Spicer on the Off the Tracks Coaches Show. You can catch us every Monday at 6 o'clock here on the live stream on BloomingtonThunder.tv. We'd love to have you come on out to the location here in downtown Normal, Illinois. And also, if you want to catch the re-air 7:30 in the morning on Cities 92.9, definitely check it out and catch the re-air here. We're in the third segment here. And Cam, it's the first season of the USHL for you, and already came into Bloomington, made an immediate impact, picked up a goal in one of your first couple games, and I believe it was the first game here too, and it was just a beautiful shot from the point. Still one of my favorite calls of the season for me. But as far as you being able to work away from that, and I know you haven't picked up a whole lot of points here in the last couple of weeks, but What's your style of game? Are you kind of the offensive defenseman? Are you the defensive guy who drops back a bit?
Traditionally I've been kind of more of a two-way guy. I've definitely had a lot more offense than I've experienced this year. I'm coming off a wrist surgery from the beginning of summer, which I think played a part in that. But all that's just excuses, and I think it's just the step up is difficult for me to kind of have that offensive touch, because I'll get opportunities and not capitalize on them. And there's times where I'll have a chance to score and it just doesn't go my way. Goalie takes it from me. But there's a lot of better players here. But all that being said, I think I've been able to hold my own playing defense and contribute to the team that way.
Hey, it's always tough to score points from the point. I was a defenseman, and granted, 5'5" defenseman trying to shoot the puck from the point. It's pretty hard to get points. But for you, you're in your first year in the league, 96, and committed to the University of Maine. Bright future for you, not only the USHL, but also heading to Maine after the fact. And I guess the same question goes the other way. What was your deciding factor for making the commitment to Maine?
Well, it was touted by quite a few schools, and I had a lot of opportunity. At the end of the day, it came down to I just got that gut feeling when I went on my visit, and that was a big sign. And then the coaches there just really showed a lot of interest in me and really cared, and they have the tools to get me where I want to go, and it was just the right fit for me.
And granted, in the last couple of years, Maine hasn't been at the top of the standings, but there's such great history at that school, at the University of Maine. And I guess being a Black Bear, was that part of your kind of process as well? Once you got there and be like, okay, there's a lot of nice tradition here at this school.
Yeah, I'm a pretty old school kind of guy. I really like the history of all that, and my host dad at the time was a big Maine alum, and he kind of played a role in that, but told me about all the glory days when he was up there with
nobody wants to push you towards something,
of course, but yeah.
But it is something that does happen, especially being part of the Junior Monarchs last year and being up in New Hampshire. You're right over there, and I know we talked about it a little bit. It being in the Midwest, being in the North. I'm a guy from New York. There's whole differences to being from each different part of the country. And what are the things you miss about being from in the East Coast last year, and then also what are some of the things you like about being in the Midwest?
I just really love the woods and the environment up there in New Hampshire. It's a little colder. I kind of like the cold. Being from Colorado, I really enjoy the snow. Really enjoy just that crisp air, and I don't know. There's something about it that just a special place in my heart, and I had a great experience there last year, and I'm excited to go back.
Yeah, and I know the feeling. It's beautiful especially when you hit that fall time of year. It's beautiful in New Hampshire and Vermont. And you're a guy who's also had the experience of being, all around the country. You went from Colorado all the way out to the East Coast, now back to the Midwest, especially after going out to Tri-City too. And what's been your take about seeing different parts of the country, and not only seeing different parts of the country, but playing hockey in different parts of the country?
Well, I just feel extremely blessed. I've playing in Colorado, there's not a lot of competition, so I've been traveling since I was 8 years old, as far as Vancouver to Atlanta, Georgia. And it's been crazy to have to do that, to sacrifice things in my hometown and not be able to and have to travel to play as much, which has been difficult. But on top of that, it's made it easier to bond with my team. So I'm really close with teammates that I've had to travel with over the years, and gotten to see amazing places, and hockey's the thing that's taken me there. So just feel very blessed because of that.
We're talking with Cam Spicer, defenseman for your Bloomington Thunder, as we finish up this 2014-15 season. 10 more games left. I think we have 5 more shows here on the Off the Track show, so definitely come on out, check out one of the final shows. You can also grab some prizes here and some upcoming tickets to some of those 4 home games that we still have left. One of them is coming up this weekend, and it starts on Friday night at 7 o'clock, mystery giveaway night for the Bloomington Thunder, and then we'll be back on Saturday as the Thunder take on the Muskegon Lumberjacks. On Saturday, Friday, it's the U18s. And Cam, just being able to move around the country and play for different places, how have the parents kind of taken to that? And especially from a young age, you're moving all over the place, don't get to see them as much, and have they been able to make their way out to Bloomington?
My parents have been able to come out to Bloomington. Actually, just my mom. My dad's coming out for Parents Weekend. And I think it's been rough for them just because I'm their boy. They want me home if I could be, but they also care about my dreams and want to do anything they can to support me, which is just an awesome thing. So they've kind of let me free and letting me chase after this dream and play hockey, even though it's probably hard for them, but they got my back, and it's a short-term thing. I got career's not as long as you want it to be in any case, and just got to take advantage of it while I can.
Now, do you have any brothers or sisters as well, or are you the one guy, or the only son there?
No, I'm just the favorite.
There you go. Hey, I'm the favorite too. I'm the youngest out of 4, so it's always nice for that. But hey, Thunder fans, definitely tweet in your questions anytime we have the Off the Track Coaches Show. We didn't get a chance to tweet it out earlier. Caitlin Schroeder doing a great job over there on Twitter, getting us ready to go here. But we did get some questions for you as the show was progressing, so we'll take a quick second and head over to those. And it comes back to the main thing. What's the biggest thing that you're looking forward to being at Maine and being part of the college experience?
Ooh. Well, I really love academics. I took high school really seriously, and I just enjoy learning a lot. So I'm excited to be back in a learning environment and kind of have the opportunity to just broaden my horizon on top of the hockey. So I'm excited about that. I'm also excited to play at the Alphon. Like, that's just it's the best rink in college hockey, and I'm excited about that.
Question number 2, and I'm guessing this is either from a family member or teammate. I want to know why you haven't called Mom this week.
I've been watching Breaking Bad with my roommate Nicholas Coverstein.
That's an okay excuse. It's a catching show. I understand that. Okay, and I hate that I'm going to ask you this question because I don't like this, but is the dress black and blue or is it gold and white?
You know, I've seen it as both. I saw it as gold and white, and then I looked away and looked back, and it was blue and black.
I can't figure it out. I've kind of stepped away from it. I can't figure it out. But and then we're just going into this weekend as we kind of push the Twitter questions aside. We're done for the night. But hey, definitely tweet those out at us. We can always love to take those Twitter questions, see what the guys have to say about them on our Twitter page at Bloomington Thunder, or excuse me, at BLM Thunder, and then at the hashtag Off the Tracks. Definitely tweet them out at us, and we'll get those questions answered for you. So Cam, as we finish up, another tough weekend for you coming into the U18s, and just how good are some of these players, and for you guys to match up against them, what do you guys need to do to beat them?
They're a team stacked with kids who are going to get drafted in the NHL and end up playing in that league. They're the most talented kids for their age group in the entire U.S. So obviously they have a lot of skill, but the way our coaches have set us up, our team has the systems and the skills to beat any team that we play. And as long as everybody buys in and does what that plays their role, we'll be prepared to beat them. And then
Muskegon also on Saturday, team that you're right in the hunt for. You're 9 points out of the playoff spot, and you're looking in, and Muskegon's one of those teams that's right at the bottom there, and a team that Bloomington's seen so far this season a couple times, and I thought matched up pretty well in close games, but just hasn't been able to pick up as many wins on them. What do you guys need to do to crack that again, like the last time you played them?
Yeah, they're a big, tough team, and it's been playing against them can be hard if you play to their style, play to their strengths. So we got to come in tough, play tough, and play our style, and just not them walk over us. Because if we do that, kind of don't have a chance. We just got to go in and play tough, stick our nose in there, and play hard, get it done.
Well, Cam, I appreciate the time. Best of luck this weekend, and definitely head on over there and watch some more Breaking Bad. I do love that show.
Yeah, it was a great show.
That's Cam Spicer. We'll be back next week because that's all the time we have here from the Off the Tracks Coaches Show. We'll be back again at the same time, 6 o'clock start for your Bloomington Thunder here on the Off the Tracks Coaches Show from Firehouse Pizza and Pub in downtown Normal, Illinois. For assistant coach Harry Mahood, for also Steven Merl, and for this guy to my right, Cam Spicer, this is Brian Tossi saying so long. We'll see you next week as we keep the Thunder rolling here at the Coliseum this weekend. So long, everybody, and have a great night.